This is the Best or Worst Podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Steven Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
I don't want to say this, Koji, because it's just so, I don't know, I guess boring, but it's true. And you said come up with the first thing that comes to your mind. I don't know, the moment I won Miss Asian America.
I was going to say that.
That's pretty cool.
Really?
That's the first time I've heard of you. So, that was the first time you...
When did you win that?
So this was 2006. A long time
ago. That's so cool.
But the reason why that was a life-changing moment was I actually did a podcast on this. It was called The Tao of Self-Confidence.
Oh, okay.
What's up? Tao of Self-Confidence. I'm trying to remember your name. You lovely girl that interviewed me. But that was about that moment as well. And her show's about self-esteem and self-confidence in Asian American women. And for me, winning Miss Asian America, I don't know, it's a really watershed moment for me because it was just a moment when I didn't really believe in myself in a lot of ways because my parents were really hard on me. And then when I won, I was so shocked that I won. And it was, I think, a moment for me because I really realized what you think you can do is actually so much more. You don't even really realize what you're capable of sometimes. You don't really know. You have limited thoughts. You have ceilings you've put up. And so the reason, it just sounds so like vapid,
not at
all. But that pageant had a talent portion. It was optional. It wasn't part of the scores. So it's kind of like Miss America. As you guys know, there's Miss USA and there's Miss America. Miss USA goes to Miss Universe, which is like owned by Donald Trump back in the day or still. Miss America ends there, and Miss America has a talent portion that's required. So if you are a real Miss America, you gotta like play the piano or, I don't know, do stand-up comedy or something. Miss USA, there's no talent portion. It's more about fitness and beauty, and I think, and connections and marketing and stuff like that. Then you go to Miss Universe, which is kind of fun, right? And then, so Miss Asian America is the first and original and longest running pageant for Asian American women. So we are the original one.
It's out of San Francisco?
And it's based in San Francisco. It's now called Miss Asian Global, which I'm not super excited about, but that's because they were trying to expand international outside of America. And the name just doesn't have quite the same ring, but they do have Miss Asian America is now second place, which is funny. So if you win top score, you get your Miss Asian Global, and then it's Miss Asian America is second place. So it's us Miss Asian America winners, we're all like, okay, so now if you're a Miss Asian America in millennial, like in recent years, it means you won second place. But people don't pay attention to all that. But basically, it there's a couple people that have come out of the pageant. There's a couple actors. Gwendolyn Yo, if you know who she is a Miss Asian America. Jane Park Smith is her new name. Was a Miss Asian America. I'm trying to think of other people. Yeah, so they're actors doing the thing down here. But it was that was like the best moment of my life because I remember it being a very vivid turning point.
Is that when you decided to come out to LA? Is that one of the things?
It was shortly after. So I was thinking of going to LA before I entered the pageant. So I was going to go like around that year because I just graduated college. But I was like doing that whole thing where I was like, I don't have enough money. I don't have any money saved. Let me just enter these pageants. And I entered two that were a week apart. Miss San Jose Grand Prix and Miss Asian America. And they were exactly a week apart. So I could use the same.
You won them both?
I won both.
Nice.
And I used so my body was all spray tanned. So I used the same spray tan for both. I had extensions. I had eyelash extensions. So I got to use them for both. I was cutting carbs and salt, I was
two
like...
2 for the price of one.
Yeah, 2 for the price of 1. And I had to do different like bikinis and different like outfits, but still, I felt like it was like just this run. So I was like, well, let me just enter these pageants before I move. I'm not ready to move yet or something was what I was thinking. But this will be something I'll do. Huh?
Have you done pageants before?
I only did one, and it was like a year before 2005. I did Miss San Jose, which goes to Miss California, which goes to Miss America.
Sure.
And I got 4th runner-up. So I did one once before. And then, so what happened was, I was like, I'm not ready to move. I don't have enough money. Let me just stay in the Bay Area, enter these pageants, and save money and move to LA. But then I won both. So I had to stick around and go do the charity events and honor my title and do work in the community. So I did a lot of community service, a lot of charitable functions. So I basically served the reign of my crown for both of them, so to say, for a year, and then I moved to LA within like 2 months after I gave up my crown. So yeah, it was an impetus because like, yeah, I got this, and by that point I didn't have any money saved, so I definitely moved as an actor, with like no money. I had $30 in my bank account, that kind of story.
Wow.
But the thing about that was, it was a confidence assurer, like something that I thought I couldn't achieve. But also it was a point where I really got back in touch with my ethnicity, with my nationality, my history. So,
Sure.
I've been to Korea before, obviously, and I grew up in East San Jose, where in that part of San Jose, white people are the minority. So, I was just reading these stories. I think I was just seeing on Instagram, like Alan Yang, Bobby Kim from from the Hundreds, were talking about growing up in Riverside and being like the only Asian in the class. And I had the opposite experience. I felt like I wasn't the only white person, but I'm half white, and I just remember being embarrassed that I was white.
It's like Hawaii.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's where okay, because I'm like, where else do they have experiences?
Well, that's where Hapa comes from, right? Hapa Haole.
Right.
And that's
and Haole, right?
That's a derogatory. Hapa used to be derogatory.
That's correct.
And then at the end, they'd be like, beat a Hapa Haole day. At the last day of school, you try to beat up Haole.
Damn.
That was like,
Wait, what?
That was like, that's a thing in Hawaii, yeah. That's why Hawaii is such a unique.
Not just beating up a Haole, a Hapa Haole.
No, not Hapa. Like being with Haole, like not a Hapa, because but the idea.
But Hapa meant like, oh, you're not really one of us.
You're
You're
not
half.
really like, but
That's changed a little bit now, hasn't it?
yeah, but there's still like it's still Asian dominated. It's still an Asian dominated.
I see. So
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So that's good to know that that's like that there. Because I'm like, how come the only people that know what I went through are the people that are from my neighborhood?
No,
So
yeah.
Paul Kim,
Yeah.
if you're listening, American Idol season 10, top 12, and then my friend Jay Julio, what's up? You guys are from my hood, from the same era, from San Jose. You guys remember there were fights all the time. There was like gangs and.
My
it was
wife's
like-
family is my wife has quite a bit of family from San Jose.
Really?
That live in San Jose still.
What part? Do you know?
No, I don't. I have no idea. But she
Yeah,
has
ask her.
quite a few cousins that live in San Jose. They're Filipino. And
Oh, right. She's
Yeah.
probably from my neighborhood then,
really,
because there's a lot of Filipinos there.
really.
That's why I know Ilocano and stuff. That's why I know.
Yeah, I know.
Are you
And they're
Tagalog or
yeah,
Ilocano
they're
speaking?
Ilocano, and it's interesting.
Well, that's why like in San Gabriel Valley, like out here,
Yeah.
there's like my high school was 70% Asian,
Oh, it was.
and out of that Asian, it's like well, I mean, there's like more Asian people than white people. Like,
Yeah,
There's still
okay.
like a lot of bullying. I mean, we've got almost been a fight in a 20-year reunion.
Wait, who
It's
was
like-
fighting who?
Like the Asian Americans and white people.
No,
Or
wait,
it's, like,
they
still-
got in a drunken fight?
Not a drunken fight, but
Okay.
when things were like escalating to weird
What was
things.
happening? Wait, this is funny. You guys are like 40 years old.
I
Why
know,
is
it's
this
like, why
20
are we
year
still
reunion?
fighting?
Dude,
But it's like, it's
Still
interesting,
water
like, it was
runs deep,
like,
man.
like, that's why like, it was weird as an Asian American, I never had any of the Asian American issues because I was like, when I
Right.
looked around, even though if I looked in TV or movies, there was no Asian people.
Right.
I looked
Same
around
here.
in my life and
Me
I'm like,
too.
everybody here is Asian.
Me
like,
too.
all the cool kids are Asian.
Me too.
Everybody I respect and want to be an
Yes.
Asian. In fact, everyone who's not is somebody I don't want to be anyway. So, like, I mean, I remember, I was just, like
Wow.
but yeah, so
But,
that,
and it was
like,
clicky, right? Like the whites hung out with the whites and the Asians.
yeah, that's
hung
why
out with
there was
Asians.
drama in the 20 reunion because it's the same thing. It's like,
really.
and I was, but so it's interesting. My wife and I always have these conversations around, is it better to grow up in a neighborhood where you're like the super majority?
Right.
But the problem is that's not real life. Because like when I leave San Gabriel Valley, I'm like, oh my god, there's so many non-Asian people here. or is it better to be like a minority where you understand and you have to fight,
Yeah,
but
that's
like
a good point.
we have a
What
lot of
is that?
issues, right? Because like I never had those issues. Like I remember I was working at the Japanese American National Museum and I had this person, like this Hapa person, come in and she was interviewing with me for an intern. And she was crying. She's like, I don't feel Asian. The
Aw.
Asian Americans don't accept me. And I'm like,
Right.
who's walking around saying you're not Asian? Like, like there's no Asian police.
Yeah.
You're Asian. Like, if you call yourself
Asian
Asian,
police.
if you call yourself Hapa, whatever you want to call yourself is fine. Just accept it
Yeah.
and be who you are. But I was like, I never had to feel that way though because I grew up in a community where
Right.
I was always the majority. I never went to a school where it was less than 50% Asian,
Why
except
did you
until college. But I went to Samurai High School,
San Marino?
San Marino.
so around here.
Good to know.
But yeah, I mean, I think that was. I remember that was the first time I heard about you.
Aww.
Was when? Oh, the.
Was hearing about the contest.
Yeah, so then.
That's
You know, I
not-
feel like
by
my
the way,
wife.
that sounds
I feel
creepy.
like my
That's
wife.
not
I think my wife would probably know about that too because she did pageants for a long time too.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she did, and she's from Carson. But I want to say she
She's from
traveled to
Carson?
a.
creepy. Really?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she went to Bishop.
Oh wow, okay, interesting.
But she did quite a few pageants, and her mom was really big into
Like
it.
when she was a little girl or as an adult?
No, up until she was 18, I think, maybe 16, 17. And no, she was good. She did well.
Wow.
Mm,
We
she
have a
got-
lot of things in
You should
common,
do-
Martin.
Yeah.
Martin, you should do pageants.
See, I'm not, I don't have the inner desire to be a woman like you do.
I wanted.
We had men once.
I wanted. No, I wanted.
Yeah,
to
I
do
know.
Yeah.
Oh, and so my wife
Yeah.
did a pageant. One of the guys she used to hang out with was a dude who did pageants.
Yeah.
And I just,
I wanted to do the. I want Nisei Week. So in Nisei Week, there's
Oh,
the
yes.
Nisei Week Queen.
Yes.
I always wanted. I thought there should be a Nisei Week Man. I was like, I totally have done it.
You might want to bring it up.
I bring it up all the
Really?
time.
We-
I jump all the time.
I want to see
I
who
know
you're
all
gonna, I
the
want to
people.
see who you're gonna brag about that to. What dude
I
are you
wanna
gonna tell that
my
to?
mom- No, I'll be like, this is like it should be. I'll be like, they should have bikini briefs.
No, I like it. There was one, Chris Sean. He was like, I think he's on Hawaii Five-0 recurring, and he was on like one of the soaps, like Days of Our Lives, and he won Mr. It was called the Ginoong Pilipinas USA or something. And
What's
it was
his
Mr.
name?
Chris Sean, Christopher Sean, Chris Hoppa,
How old is he?
around maybe my age-ish, 30s-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's an actor, and he was Ginoong Pilipinas when I was Mrs. Asian America.
God, she does the accent like the Filipinos.
But
Man.
they had a Mr. Yeah. you know.
So wait,
Yeah,
so where's he
Mr.
from though? San Jose?
I don't know where he's from. I think he's Bay Area, but it was up there too. But it was a national man pageant.
Because this guy that my wife knew, he did really well in all those men's pageants,
Oh.
the Filipino pageants.
That's.
Chris Sean, ask her. Christopher Sean.
This reminds me of
Christopher Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toddlers and Tiaras, right? It's just a funny show. But one of the best one was this little boy, and he was so great because like first of all his parents were like super kind of hick,
Yeah.
and they're super supportive of this
Oh.
boy, and he's like super flamboyant, and he wanted like they asked him like because he's like one boy, so he always wins. And like, and they're like, do you want a king's crown or a queen's crown? He's like, a queen's crown, of
How
course.
cute.
And it was so awesome because he's like, but it was like what I liked about it was like super not sexual.
How old
He
was
was
he?
wearing, he was like 8, and he was wearing
That's
like
so
he was wearing
cute.
like a tuxedo, and I'm like, the girls wouldn't be okay if they weren't trying to be sexualized, like these 6-year-old girls aren't
I see,
sexualized,
right,
The
right.
8-year-old boy, he's just like walking around, and he has like a tuxedo on and a top hat. You're like,
Just being fun and.
I was like, yeah, and he's doing like tap dancing, and I was like, this is fun. Like I could get behind,
That's cool.
I could get behind this kid.
Aww.
But like I was like, I tried to get behind some
With the
other
girls,
shit.
it's a
Yeah.
little bit.
You're like, you're trying to be like a sex symbol, and you should just be like.
Yeah,
a
I've
girl.
always found it
Yeah.
really,
But-
and I have no problem saying it's just the girls know that makeup at that age. It just seems so
I know,
creepy
huh?
to me.
I know.
But yeah, that boy, and just I remember thinking like this was so super. Like parents were super progressive, like or not progressive,
Yeah.
but they're allowing the kid to be like who he is.
Yeah.
They never called him gay or anything, but like you could tell like he was super gay.
Aww.
He's gonna be gay, right?
Aw,
But it was
that's
really
great,
cute. His
though.
guy's like a trucker. You could just be like, this is kind of
That's a good
He's kind of
dad.
uncomfortable a little bit, but he was like going with it because.
That's
He
so
loves his
funny.
kid, that's awesome.
But it was just awesome. I was like, this is like the best toddler terrorist show I've ever seen.
So it was an episode?
No, I don't know.
Like,
if
yeah,
it's-
there's one episode you
It's
saw.
one of the episodes.
But remember the toddlers and tiaras? They were like feeding them like the sugar, like Red Bull and
Yeah.
or Mountain Dew. They called it Go-Go Juice. Remember?
Yeah,
that?
I remember that. Wow, how do I remember that?
Because Honey Boo Boo became a viral sensation, and
She had a
yeah.
show. She had a show.
she had a show. Yeah. So Go-Go Juice and what are those pixie sticks? The
Mhm.
sugar,
Yeah.
powdered sugar
Pixie
flavored.
sticks.
Yeah. So they're pumping them up with like legal
Sugar.
stimulants.
I just think you could do more with girls. I think girls are way more. They can do way more. You know,
Yeah.
like there's so much more you can do with them. I
Yeah.
think. They'd just be like pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could play
Totally.
sports. They could do
What?
athletics. They could do
I'm
competitions.
just
of
kidding.
other
Just so
kinds.
you know, that was a joke. That was a joke.
Like I mean, it's okay. I mean, obviously beautiful
was.
is fine, but it's like there's.
Did you play any sports?
You could develop things.
Just softball.
Softball.
That's also why I love Giants, because I play softball. So I was gonna finish saying why are people? Yeah, I noticed Dodger fans are so much harder on me than I think Giants fans towards Dodgers. Does that sound about right? You guys are always giving me crap, and it's like, what's the big deal? It's just we
Well,
all love baseball, right?
But you know what? It's
I
a good
say-
point.